Welcome to Dear Dietitian, where you ask questions and we answer them. This time, I'm going to ask the questions.
It looked kind of creepy when you did that.
Because I'm excited. Oh,
God.
Went out of focus a little bit, so I was about that.
That's a lot.
All right, so question. When you are seeing eating disorder clients, do you have a particular strategy or approach that you always take?
Like strategy in response to what? Like just that.
So like if the clientele comes in, is there a certain communication style? Is there anything that you ensure that you try not to say? Is there anything that you make sure you do say? Is there anything like across the board?
Yeah, so I suppose a lot of it's rapport building and initial gathering of data about, what brought them here. What don't I say? So I really try to avoid the conversation around weight, directly gaining or losing weight. There's a lot of different approaches to how that should happen, whether the GP is supposed to weigh the person, the psychologist, the dietitian. Generally, for the most part, because it's out of my scope, I would never let them see their weight. So often I will take their weight.
Out of your scope? Why?
Depending on the method. So some psychologists use a particular method where they get them to see the weight and they gradually become comfortable with the weight as being just a number and a figure. It's not something, and they discuss their feelings and thoughts around it. Traditionally, and that's a new thing, that's actually, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting concept, but I feel like it's probably not my scope to be able to then really get into that, and I would obviously be referring them off to see a psychologist. At the same time, so yeah, I generally do a blind weight, particularly early on, when I know that they're extremely uncomfortable with that figure. And I'm not there to be talking about their weight, because I'm there to be trying to improve their relationship with food and try and improve their nutrition. So I generally do a blind weight, and I avoid talking about it for the most part, particularly early on.
So when you do a blind weight, how do you respond to them going, so what is it?
I don't
tell me, is it good?
They rarely ask that.
Am I overweight? What's my BMI?
No, not with eating disorder, they won't say that. If it was somebody else without an eating disorder, absolutely they would say that. Yeah, or they'd be waiting for my response. So pretty much it's just no response. It's just, okay, no worries, step off the scales. So no emotion and no response.
Do you find it hard sometimes to have no response? Like if you see a number on the scale, or if you already just seen by looking at them, that's your response?
Oh no, you can't tell. It's hard to know. I'm sure I have some sort of response, and it's probably facial. Nothing that I say, and I don't find it difficult.
It's a good thing she's got an RBF.
Yeah, that's right. Practicing on that, can you tell? So no, that would be the only thing that I probably do consistently for all of them, but each of them are extremely different. They all come in with different reasons for why they're here as well, and a lot of them have brought a parent. So that conversation can be really challenging, navigating that. I try to always talk to them because the parent will generally be in there, and so a lot of the time there's that, she's done that, she's done this, she's been doing these behaviours, so it's really difficult to make sure that you then don't end up just having them as a blind person in the room. So I do try to engage them a lot in the conversation. Anything else that I particularly do differently? So I try to avoid talking about food from an energy, calorie, protein point of view, and I try to just start to talk about food and food for nourishment.
Do you do like food for health, or just mostly just nourishment? Just like, do you ever bring up the fact that they could die?
Depends. Sometimes, yeah, with some clients for sure. Most of them have already, depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts and even attempts. So I guess that reality is there, and I have had that conversation with plenty of people, but to be honest, doesn't really matter for a lot of them. A lot of them are very high strung, certainly very ambitious, and when it comes to themselves, they don't care. That is the true fact. So.
Okay. Cool. Next question. All right. So, why did you choose not to or not interested in working in a hospital as a dietitian?
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Why?
Yeah, because there's like no continuity, particularly not unless they're chronically unwell. But even then, what I have to say in hospital is probably like bottom feeder type thing. And generally when people are looking to improve their food and nutrition is not when they're chronically unwell. So I find that our value, and my value in particular, was better suited for a community environment. I also didn't like numbers, and traditional dietetic model is counting those numbers, and that is just not my thing. I have terrible handwriting, so writing into progress notes is again not a strength of mine. So, but look, to be honest, that's my self-reflection. But I was never offered a position in clinical. I didn't want to move, and I had not really a passion to be anywhere. So I just tried what I got offered first. And yeah, on reflection, have never applied or gotten a clinical position. Didn't like supplements and all that sort of, doesn't make my brain happy. So it's just not a good space for me.
So many people apply for our private practice jobs saying that they don't like hospital because they didn't get enough time with the client, or that they feel like they're not making a difference. But do you think it's just the way you frame what you're doing? Because obviously in private practice you might actually get less time with the client sometimes. Especially
I don't mean time as an initial, I just mean that
time in general.
And ongoing.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of saying to what new grads say that they don't really know anything else other than hospital, and they're like, oh, no, I don't like that. I want to work in private practice because I'll be able to see people more often. It's not always the case.
No.
You can see a Medicare client who's on a chronic disease management plan, you'll see him twice in a year, and then you'll see him again next year.
The other value is predictability in a hospital clinical setting, which I get. You turn up each day, you have your list and it's there, it's already there, you don't have to work hard, and there's no-shows. If they're not there, they're probably getting a scan, but with something or they're gone. So that's another reason why somebody might, want a hospital clinical job. But I like all those differences. I guess that's the main reason. To starting off with, it was just the opportunity didn't present itself, and I'm glad. I really like biochemistry, so the change in.
Do you like those numbers?
Stuff, yeah. I don't have to calculate them. I just read them.
Yeah, you're right.
I just interpret them, and they're small numbers, so I can deal with that. So I really like that sort of stuff. So I really actually did have an interest in renal and those bits and pieces early on, and I probably could have made my place there, but again, it didn't happen. I'm happy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Another question.
Hammering me today.
Well, you rarely get hammered, so I'm usually the one individualist. How would you market yourself?
Very broad with your questions today, Tyson.
The audience is asking these broad questions.
This is true, but it's the way in which.
How would you? Well, other than giving preamble like you tend to every single time you ask a question.
I like my preamble. How would I market myself?
How would you market yourself?
Well, I do market myself. So what do I do? What I look like is really important to that. So when I'm marketing myself, I make sure that what I'm wearing is at least doesn't have a rip in it, or it's clean, it's crisp, doesn't require ironing because I don't do it. We do need to be seen as being relatively professional, clean cut, all the above. Yeah, that's why you don't go marketing yourself. That's true, it's a real thing. So what I
do marketing, it's just not too good with doctors. I've got to do full, long sleeve, everything, button up.
When I first met Tyson, early on he was like these white button-up shirts, and it was like sweltering.
It wasn't sweltering. She just thinks, God, it's like, is that like choking you? Like, it's called fashion, wagga girl.
No, it looked restrictive. I thought I was going to die. So what you look like, definitely really important. I don't think taking a heap of resources and stuff to kind of throw at them is really valuable.
How do you market yourself? How will they market themselves? How do you market yourself?
So I tend to talk about what my interests are, what I'm good at, how long I've been practicing as a dietitian, because that's relatively valuable, particularly a lot of dietitians probably early on. There was a lot of new grads and certainly a lot around here. So around here I do talk about my level of experience. I talk about our business and the collaborative approach that we have. I market myself as, so in terms of the skills and the things and the results that I get with clients. So I talk about things that I would do with clients, and then how my approach is better and different. I often ask them a little bit about the clients that they see and what are their practices, who they're referring to, and then I'd use that to piggyback off why I'm better, I'm different, why I'm going to get better results. So a lot of it's feedback from the GPs or the specialist, whatever, but it has to be a really bouncing off conversation. I'm not going to sit there and tell you about why I'm good. So I often do lead in with a bit of discussion and just sort of chatting and that. But I do tend to be very serious in those meetings, so I try to have a little bit of light, particularly at the end or in between. Otherwise, it's quite confronting, and I'm aware of that. But you've only got a short space of time, so you've really got to make your mark really quickly. I probably talk too quickly, and I have on here been talking really quickly. But yeah, sorry, what I look like, what I have to say, my years of experience, what are my specialties, and why I'm better. There you go.